winters in Montreal are not the greatest time to be outside with your muscle car. Unless you're bringing it to Nick's garage for a fresh injection of old school power. There are plenty of projects in the shop, all of them needing Nick's attention. And he's itching to get working on the Challenger TA he just brought home. But today, he wants to spend a little time in the engine room with Vasily, his young apprentice. They're ready to start assembly on a classic 1970 Oldsmobile small block out of a Rallye 350.
Well, we're starting off here with a basic 350 Oldsmobile motor that belongs to a 1970 Rallye Cutlass. They only came with 350s, and all these cars came in yellow. And we got a client who's got a couple of these cars, and we're hoping to get 400 horsepower out of this thing. You don't see too many Oldsmobiles, do you? Go ahead. The first thing we do on an engine, after we take it all apart, clean it, machine it, and then after it's washed, the first thing we put on is cam bearings. As Vasily here is putting them in for us. And then after that, we're going to start slowly putting it together. After, you know, as you can see, the machine work is all done. It's bored out. We decked the block. We had a hot tank. We put the first coat of paint. And now we're going to start by putting cam bearings in it. We installed 3 cam bearings, and every time we put one bearing at a time, we keep putting the cam in there just to make sure that the cam turns free. It's good, eh?
Nick learned a long time ago to check each cam bearing as he installs them. And now he's passing on what he's learned to Vasily.
I had once a 440, I put 5 cam bearings in there, and we installed the camshaft, and there was no way that camshaft was going to turn. We put a big bar, tried to turn it, nothing. Took all the bearings out and started all over. Then after that, we've learned to go one by one. Right there. Okay, hit it. Okay, hold on. Keep going, a little bit, just a bit. Okay. Take it out. Looks good. After all the 5 cam bearings are installed, you want the cam to slide in and turn by hand. That's the way it should be turning. But if you had some friction, of course you're robbing horsepower, and then again, you don't want any bearing failures, so you gotta make sure that cam bearings all go nice, and the cam goes in place, and it turns free. So far we got our restrictors in place, we got our crankshaft main bearings in place. Now we're gonna drop in the crankshaft. Then we're gonna measure our clearances.
Oldsmobile only built 3,547 Rallye 350s back in the day. They were all bright yellow, and they all came with a gold V8 that made 310 horsepower. Nick's client wants a lot more than that.
My customer wants 400, so we're gonna aim for 400, hopefully we get it. We're not using anything special like, all we did is cam, porting work, and a valve job. 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass Rallye rod. Pontiac. Okay, all of them are 70 to 80, but the last 2 is 100. Actually, don't torque this one down. We're gonna use it for clearance. We're gonna put a plastic gauge to check the clearance, okay? So do them all except that one. We're gonna use the old technique, plastic gauge, which is a very simple method of measuring bearing clearance. It's like a piece of rope, green, and it gets squeezed after we torque down the cap. And after we torque down the cap, we're gonna give us a measurement. Now, here, take a piece. put the plastic gauge on the journal?
Yeah.
We're gonna measure bearing clearance on the main journals. So we're gonna take one, like right over here. You see it?
Yeah. We're gonna take the main caps now to check the oil clearance, and we should be good, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a 1.5 thou.
1.5 thou, right? So we got 1.5 thou clearance, which is great. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we're on the money. So on the main journals, our bearing clearance is good.
Yeah.
A good engine builder will always check the machinist work, always. Simple stuff, but it's just a little bit more time consuming, but you want to make sure it goes good. You know, if the crank is not straight or if the bearings are really tight, it will not turn this easy. There you go, see? No friction. That's a good start.
With the crank spinning smoothly in the block, Nick and Vasily check to make sure the end play is within tolerances.
In this case, we have 4 thou, and specs are within 4 to 8, so at 4 thou, we're good to go.
Then, it's time for some fresh plugs.
Education time.
Right. Does anybody know what freeze plugs are for? They're called freeze plugs or frost plugs. For the reason is when it gets cold out there and you got just water in your engine, the first thing to pop when it freezes is your freeze plug. If not, then you'll crack the block. Use the almighty hammer. Whoa. Yeah, that's correct.
Nick is passionate when it comes to sharing what he's learned about old school muscle with Vasily, with his clients, and with you, his viewers.
I've been building engines since I was 16 years old, which we go back 43 years. And this is what we're all about, muscle engines. You know, we go to so many car shows, right? Or car shows here and there, and everybody has their hoods open. What do they got the hoods open for? To show off their engine. And then what's all behind all that? Horsepower and torque. But nobody goes internally. They just buy a crate engine, throw it in the car, and they go to a car show, and what do they say? Oh, I just bought this crate engine from GM or Ford or from Chrysler. But nah, this is something we built, custom work for our clients. We have it right here. We're showing you, describing how we go about it, building it, trying to make horsepower from scratch. And the best part is we put on the dynamometer and bring our customer in and blast them on the dyno.
You can bet that this Rocket 350 will have its turn on the dyno too. And we'll bring you along for the ride, right here on Nick's Garage.
You see any of this on velocity? Nah.